warning. Mentions of nudity, drunken mess, and slight gore. I groaned, fluttering my eyes open, but quickly covering them back. Thanks to the blinding light, my body felt like it was frozen solid. Feeling around my body, I could tell I was on a bed. Not the most comfortable one I had been on, but not the worst I have seen. "Ah, good. You're awake." I heard a voice as I slowly opened my eye to see a male. He was lightly hunched over, walking with a cane, glasses hanging over the bridge of his nose as a smile laid on his face. His hair looked to be held by a small ponytail. "How long have I been out?" I spoke as I slowly sat up, realizing that I was out of my armor, now only being in my white shirt that was halfly cut. "I do apologize for having to do that." He walked over and looked over my wound. "Your little buddy was very adamant on me not hurting you any further." He chuckled as he looked over the table next to my bed. "Where is he now?" I asked as I took off my undershirt, now only having my sashi, seeing that he had probably been stitched, upping my wound earlier when I was asleep. Sorry about him. He can be quite... I paused, looking towards the floor. "Oh, don't worry. But he is quite an odd seeing." He spoke as he came over to my side. "A spiderkin of this kind would never be out this far." I paused, humming just a bit. "What do you mean?" I asked as he worked more and more. "Normally spiderkin are brown or black, not white," he hummed. "Especially male." He hummed once more. We stayed quiet for the rest of the time as he checked my wound. "All right. There you go," he hummed as he looked at his work, then walking away. "Sorry to ask, but where is he?" I pulled my shirt over my head again. "Oh, I sent him with your stuff to the inn," I hummed, quickly standing as I popped my neck. Thanks." I walked over to the door. "Be careful walking about with him. You don't know what could come." The cheery tone in his voice was gone as I opened the door. "Don't worry. I can deal with him." I walked out. Seeing that the sun was about to set, with many people traveling home from the day-to-day lives, some holding hands of small children or holding them in their arms, seeing travelers pass by one another as they made their way to their next destination, making your way towards the inn where on the outside was quiet, but opening the door was loud and filled with drunkens or the only wanting people to find a place to sleep for the night. It was hard for me to see him compared to all the others, since it was filled with travelers and other people who lived in the town, looking around only to find him at the bar. "You know, I think I like you," I heard as I walked up behind him. "Oh, there you are," he asked as he held his head up to look at me with a wide smile. "I'm sorry. Has he been causing any harm?" I asked as I held him up from falling over, his head resting on my chest. Not really, other than spilling half his drink on a siren." I paused, taking a frustrated sigh. How many drinks has he had?" The bar tavern looked to him and then back towards me. How do I put this? The tone in the resting of his face told me otherwise. "A 1. He got 1 and got drunk after that, so I have been giving him apple juice, though he's been having 4 of those." I sighed once more. Thanks for not giving him any more. I patted his head that was resting neatly between my chest. He seemed to quite, enjoy it. And perhaps where is that siren? I asked, slightly chuckling as I patted his head. You never want to be on the bad side of a siren. You would know. Ugh. Oh, she left. I paused. Great. All right, how much for the meat and apple juice? I asked as I grabbed for my bag. Oh, that on the house. For taking care of that bastard. He spoke as he cleaned a glass. He's been causing real trouble lately. As you know what the board said, but apparently he's been doing worse. He burned down a whole village just 2 weeks ago. Oh, and he also got a room. Here's the key. He placed the glass down and walked over to the wall and grabbed the key. Dropping it into my hand, I looked towards the number carved into the key. Thanks. I spoke as I picked him up. Hey, put me down. He slammed his fist on my back. Onlookers watching as I carried him, with mostly awkward looks, but who knows. The bedroom was at the end of the hall. Let me go. He pushed and pushed as I unlocked the door, closing it with my foot and placing him on the bed. Stay here. He looked up and nodded. I sighed, watching as his eyes lowered down to look at the floor. I started to turn. All right, I'm going to... But then, I felt him grab onto my shirt. Please, don't leave me again. His grip on my shirt was tight, and I looked back up to see him staring right at me, tears welling in his eyes. Don't leave me again. He pulled me closer towards him, slowly feeling his arms wrap around my body and nuzzling his head into my back. I guess I'm not taking a bath today. God, I'm gross. Wait, can I just... All right, come on, buddy. I turned around and picked him up, taking some extra clothes with me, and his eyes went down to the floor, then at my face, walking towards the bathroom. Man, I do feel like carrying a baby with how I'm holding him. He's just so light. Placing him on the stone of the bathtub, crouching down and starting the fire. Running the water and feeling as the tub water getting warm and warm with each passing second. You want to join? I asked as I stood up. He looked towards me, then to the water, the blush on his face darkening, and he quickly shook his head. No, it would damage my sin. He mumbled as he held his chest, but he inched closer towards me, and I shrugged, turning away and taking off my shirt, then looking over towards him, seeing me undress, wide-eyed. Was he not used to this? Got something to say? I raised an eyebrow. You're gorgeous, he gasped out, and I paused, slowly standing up fully. It was the drunkenness. It had to be. I then continued to undress, only having the sharsha and undergarments, finally sneaking into the warm water and sighing in bliss. Can I at least... your hair? He wondered as I heard his footsteps walking over. Sure, but please be careful. My hair is important to me. He nodded as he sat at the edge of the tub, dipping his legs into the water. I hummed, noticing that his legs didn't have any fur. Was that what he meant? The fur? He grabbed a cup and slowly poured it over my hair, feeling it run over my back and shoulders, then feeling his hand scrub my scalp, lightly groaning as he did so, feeling his hand slow and then continue to work, drenching my hair once more. Surprisingly, he was good. Can I ask you something? He hummed as he worked. Did you Why did you leave home? And why don't you have a name? I asked, feeling him pause and then work again. And he only took a sigh. Well, when I was born, my mother never gave me a name. Probably to make sure she didn't get attached to me when I died. But I didn't grow up learning everything my sisters did. My eldest sister helped me leave, but she was too big to follow, so I don't know what happened to her. And then the water he poured, drenching any thought of him speaking. Whipping my head to look at him. Are you still drunk? I asked, more of a demand. It was stern and concerning. He tilted his head, humming a bit. Drunk? What's that? I sighed. He gave too much information to me not to be drunk. I sighed. Could you leave the room? I'm going to change. Fully. I spoke, and in his drunken state, he seemed to understand, taking his legs out of the bath and taking a towel himself. He seemed to be in a trance. Was it the alcohol or me? I stood, taking the drain with me, blowing out the fire as I bent down to grab my clothes, looking at myself in the mirror and huffing. It was mostly because of my bandage. But I looked away as I slowly undid them, slowly doing them once more. I didn't want to look at the wound. I knew it was gross. That blow really hurt. And then taking the extra clothes and changing into, turning the knob to see that he was asleep on the bed. Was he waiting for me? I wondered as I walked over towards him sleeping with a smile on my face. Moving away the strand of hair from his face, I spoke. Good night, my little spider. I placed a small kiss onto his forehead. Hey guys, new word of the day. If you don't know what a sharshi is, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it's S-A-R-S. Oh my god, I already messed that up. It's S-A-R-A-S-H-I, which means clothes wrapped around a woman's chest to compress it. So, anyways, there you go, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I love you all so, so, so much. Bye! Mwah!